Hello everyone and welcome back to Giant Fire Breathing Robot on YouTube. My name is Craig Withers and we are continuing with our coverage of Hearthstone today. We have yet another in our series of starter deck guides for you, and this time round we are going to be looking at the Paladin. Now, as with all of the other starter decks in our series here, we are using cards purely from the basic set. What that means is that none of these cards are going to cost you any money, and none of them are going to cost you any arcane dust. You don't have to drop any money to buy any booster packs to get any of these cards. You don't have to spend time disenchanting cards to create new cards to make any of these cards. All you have to do is get the class to level 10 and you have access to every single one of the cards we're going to put in this deck for you. So yeah, what I'm going to do is, as always, I'm just going to rattle straight in here. I'm going to put the deck together quickly, and then I will go back and pick out some of them and discuss the deck. Not really in depth, but just a wee bit. So let's see, let's get straight to it. We've got two hands of tech. We have two novice engineer, ubiquitous. There we go. Ubiquitous Swappoos, Shattered Sun Cleric, Razorfen Hunter. Back here we have two Silver Champions, Consecration. Back to the minions. Where are we? There we go. Chillwind Yeti, that's what I'm after. We have two Shield Masters. Here. Hammer of Wrath. Blessing of Kings. Just grab the Guardian of Kings while we're here. What I'm after. Commando. Frostwolf Warlord. And last but never least, Stormwind Champions. There we go. All 30 cards, 2 of each. So, what have we got? First and foremost, we'll talk about what the Paladin is. The Paladin, generally, you'll find, will be focused on its minions, more often than not. Not really in the same way that the Hunter is and was. Board control is key for the Paladin, so what you're always really want to be thinking about doing is keeping the minion in play. You always want to be focusing on good trades, that is, taking your minion and trading it out by attacking another minion and taking both of them off the board, if possible, at all times. Not just with the Paladin, you should be looking to trade out a weaker minion for one of the opponent's more powerful minions. One way of doing that is just being smart about it. Another way of doing it is a feature, a strong class feature of the Paladin, and that is through buffing weak minions up to be stronger. You can see here there's a lot of these things that, and give minions health. Well, the humility there, that's not even in the deck. You're giving your minion divine shield, so your minion is ignoring damage when you take it. So yeah, so there we go. So we've got both hand of protection in there. Now that's a great one. Use this. You can use this for trading out against against bigger minions. Like drop it on a small minion and use it to chip away or take away a more powerful one. Personally, in the first instance, I would always try and use that on one of my own big creatures to keep them safe. Don't want to waste mana bringing out a big creature and then have it, kind of not even a big creature, but a slightly heavier creature. You don't want it be taking out of the game too early. Two Silver Champion, that's a great one just for giving yourself a bit of health. Now you'll see the Paladin's power, the hero power there, reinforce summon a 1/1 recruit for 2 mana. Now that doesn't seem huge in and of itself, but you have to remember there are an awful lot of things in here that can buff up even the weakest minion. Even in this smallest deck, even in this starter deck. Again, we've got Shattered Sun Cleric in there. We've got Stormwind Champion as we usually do. Who else do we have? There we go. The Frostwolf Warlord, although a small minion in and of itself isn't that great, it can inadvertently be used or indirectly, be used to buff up the Warlord. So there's an awful lot going on in this deck. A lot of things kind of working with one another. It's not a difficult deck to use. It is fairly self-explanatory. Consecration, just randomly a great card. I mean, it's not the best card. It's not the best removal card in the world, but it will allow you, certainly in the early game. It's good that it's only 4 mana. You can bring that out quite early, and early enough that two damage is quite likely going to hurt an awful lot of creatures that are out there at the time. So yeah, I mean, there's really an awful lot you can say about this deck. It's a smaller deck in that there's 2 of everything in there instead of being 1 of this, 1 of that, and it's fairly self-explanatory. It doesn't really take an awful lot of use to kind of get the hang of. Guardian of Kings, restore 6 health to your hero. That's a no-brainer. For 7 mana for the 5/6 creature anyway. It's expensive, but you add that 6 health on. The fact that we've got Guardian of Kings in there is one of the reasons why we don't have Holy Light. Again, this comes back to what we were saying in the Druid video. If you're at the point where you really need to restore 6 health and you've got bigger problems going on, you want to really think about why you're in that position. So it's it may be a bit of a waste. Let me see. Okay, so extra things you can put into this deck once you've gone a bit farther. Sword of Justice, one of the first things you should really focus on getting. Let's have a look at that. Again, this is a weapon card, so once you bring it out, it'll sit up, here, the left or right hand, whichever way you want to look at it, of your hero. Sorry, down here. Never use that to attack. Don't use that to attack. That's an absolute waste. This card's, unless your opponent, this is one of the reasons why we always try and keep a Swamp Ooze or something, a weapon removal card in our deck, to get rid of horrible things like this. Pardon me. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. Every single minion you come out, if you're tying that with your hero power, you're essentially doubling the strength and toughness of those minions that you're bringing out. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with this card whatsoever. What else? Let's see. Argent Commander. That's not so good. What are we wanting? I'm looking for the Argent Protector. Or am I? Oh, I got the wrong thing. No, I can't read my own handwriting, so yeah. Let's go back and double check that. Yeah, so the Argent Commander, so that's great. Again, you get another thing about Argent Squire. That's even better. You could always drop that in. If you're wanting to replace some of the lower down ones, I'm maybe be tempted to replace the Razorfen Hunter with those, because that can still benefit from buffs. I don't know, I'm on the fence about that one. Argent Protector, that's one I was actually looking for there, so I can't expand that, it's annoying. There we go. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I could make some of those, I'm not going to bother though. But that one, giving a friendly minion Divine Shield, that's fantastic. Again, use this in much the same way as you would have used Hand of Protection, like we've already got in the deck. Either use that to buff up weaker minions, which you can then use to trade against more powerful enemy minions, or use that on your own big minions to keep them in play longer. A similar card to that is Aldor Peacekeeper. When you bring that out, bringing enemy minions attack down to 1, that's fantastic. That's always fun when someone drops that on you after you've just put out a big stompy minion, and all of a sudden they're doing next to no damage. That's always incredibly annoying. One last thing, one other one I will mention: Equality. If you can get this, get it. Get 2 of these, because it's not going to cost you an awful lot to get those. Tie this in with Consecration. Consecration, which does 2 damage to all enemy minions. Drop this first, and then Consecration on top of that. Bang. Like I said before, Consecration doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but that's only 4 mana, and Equality is only 2 mana. So on turn 6, I mean, you can bring that out earlier than the mages. Flame Strike, and if possible, and almost likely clear the board. And even in the late game, I mean, that could maybe still give you 3 mana to play with, 4 mana, depending on how late you leave that. So that's a fantastic combo. But if nothing else, I recommend that you get Sword of Justice before anything. I just got really lucky and got that in a pack. But I mean, that's 400s dust is going to take you a while to get, but yeah, get that one before, maybe not before anything else, but aim for this one if you really want to start, really want to see some improvements. But yeah, that's us. So as I say, it's a fairly straightforward deck. There's nothing, it's not difficult to get to grips with. As with all the other decks that we are talking about, take it out there, use it, experiment with it. If there's something in there that you don't like or you don't think is working, then drop it. If you're not seeing enough weapons out there to justify having a Swamp Ooze, then fine, go for it. If you don't think you need the extra card draw, drop the Novice Engineer, although I think that's probably a mistake. But just use it, experiment with it, drop things out, add things in, see how it goes. By all means, come back and let us know how you got on. Leave us some comments down below the video. If you don't like the deck, let us know why, what didn't work. If you do like it, then let us know what did work. We'd love to hear back and know how it's going. Regardless, if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up so we know. If you're feeling really generous, sorry, pardon me, then subscribe. Regardless, until the next time, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you then.